Welcome back to Moon Day Messages. This is such an interesting time. I feel like I say that all the time, but this is how it feels like. The first 6 months of this year were not short of like the universe was pumping the brakes. There was not much movement happening. There was a lot of maybe even confusion and a lot of question marks around like what happens next? What are the next steps? Why is there no forward movement? Why is nothing happening? Why all of the things that I actually worked for are not coming into place? This is shifting now. We have so many astrological events that are so important. Mars was in Cancer for the longest time, which really pumped the brakes. I talked about this before, and I'm sure you heard about this. If you're interested in videos like this, then I'm sure you're watching other people talk about this as well. But Mars moved into Leo, which is a much, much better placement because it's a fire sign. Mars is a fiery placement, a fiery planet. So this transit is good for forward movement. Then we have Jupiter soon moving into Cancer from Gemini. Jupiter is a planet of expansion. So wherever you have Cancer in what house, this is where you're going to get a sense of expansion throughout the next year. I think it moves into Cancer on June 9th. So as of filming this video, that has not happened yet, but it will happen this week. This is a really, really good energy as well. It was also a good energy being in Gemini, depending on what house it is. But Gemini was almost always for everyone more about centered around thought patterns, the way we communicate. And when it moves into Cancer, it is much more about our emotions. It will be much more about what feels homey to us. But again, depends on where it is in your chart. And then we also have Venus moving into Taurus, which Venus loves to be in Taurus, which is also a very beautiful energy. So themes around love and relationships get a little bit more lovey-dovey. So it's beautiful energy. It's definitely energy towards forward movement compared to the first 6 months of 2025. So we love to see it. We want it. We need it. We are excited about it, right? Before I go deeper into the human design transit, you know the deal. If this video is for you and if this message is for you, then here are the signs on the screen. We have 111, we have 444, we have fire emoji, and we have water filter. So maybe you change your water filter or you decide to actually get one. Or you see any of the other signs, then this is for you. This message is also for you if you don't see any of these signs, because I always manifest the people that need this message to watch this video, for them to like receive that video. If someone sends it to you, if you see it on YouTube, if you are a subscriber, I love you. Thank you for the support. With that being said, I would love for you to become a subscriber. If you are not yet, like, comment, send it to friends. Help me to grow this channel. But it is a very interesting energy. The sun is moving into gate 45, which is the gate of the gatherer. We are still in the throat center. It's still very much about expressing yourself, manifestation. This specifically is about leadership. This is the energy about gathering resources for everyone involved. If it is your community, if it's friends of like a group of friends, if it's like your family, whatever it is a group of people that you are part of, and your willingness, your want, your thoughts around how am I able to not just create wealth in terms of material things, but knowledge and experiences for the benefit of the community, for the benefit of all. Okay, so it is about the ability of gathering resources, people, ideas to create that for your community. This gate is also called the gate of the king or of the queen. So this is really what a king or queen was supposed to be, even though we know that was not necessarily always the case, but it was a leader to create wealth for everyone and help everyone get to the next level, and not just a group of people where others are being left behind. So how can we create a sense of abundance that is shared among all? How can we make that happen as a leader? If you are being called, if you feel called to be a leader for your community in whatever sense, how can you make that happen? How can you help people gather and receive what they need and what they want in order to become the best version of themselves? Okay, that's really what it is about. So very beautiful energy, very necessary energy with the readings that we had in the last few weeks. We are now being called to not just step into being the leader, but actually embody the leader. What does it mean to be a leader? You're not just elected to be the leader and then be able to like shine in the light of being a leader, but what does it mean to embody one? What does it mean to really be there for your community? What does it mean to really show up as a leader and not just, take the crown and be like, okay, I made it. But how do you actually, because this is how you stay a leader, hopefully, right? When you are actually embodying what that really means. Okay. So what came through while I was channeling was also very interesting. I heard create a fireplace. Because if you are still on the brink of moving into that next level, into that next version of yourself, then you are being called now to burn everything that is keeping you from embodying this, what is keeping you from stepping into that next version, what is keeping you small at the end of the day. So everything that is connected to the old timeline, everything that is connected to the old version of yourself, this might be friendships, this might be a job, this might be a place that you have outgrown, this might be a relationship, this might be a title, it does not matter, but to use one of the elements, which is fire, and you will also like at the same time use air as an element when you do this. Using the elements as like in a ritual helps us to connect better to where we come from, because this is what our ancestors used to do. That was like a usual thing that like no matter what culture you come from, using the elements of some sort in ritual was always a thing amongst us human beings. So coming back to that, gathering back into that energy, because in a different lifetime of yours, you did that before. So like you are connecting the different versions of yourself that have been different human beings that came before you, before the version of you now, in this process. So I want you to gather things that represent that old timeline, that old version of yourself. If it is a letter that you received from a person that you need to let go of, if it is a picture, if it is like print out an email, whatever it is, I want you to have something that you can burn away that represents that version of yourself. If you don't have anything, just write a letter to the old version of yourself and say thank you for saving me, for being there for me, for holding it down for me, whatever it is that you have to say. And then say, but I don't need you to do that anymore. I step into this new version. I choose this new version of myself now. And then you burn that, okay? Another thing that I just want to say is, like, when you have that letter, make sure that you fold it away from you. This is away, right? This would be towards you. So fold it away from you as many times as you feel like it's necessary, and then you can burn it, because when you fold it away from you, this is when you let go. If you would fold it towards you, this is what you want to call in, right? So that could be a very beautiful ritual and very helpful in the process of you actually setting the intention of letting that go, because our mindset is so powerful. And if we actually use elements and physical things for us for our brain to process what we are doing, like setting the intention of letting something go, it will reach the parts of our brain that it needs to in order for that shift to happen. Okay. These are some of the things that I do with my coaching clients as well when it is about like timeline shifting, besides the hypnotherapy recordings that they get. But like physical ritual action step, like action taking steps like this are so helpful in the process of this. Okay. Then what came through is that it's time for your alter ego to take over. You might want to give it a name. You might want to create them by describing them. Like, who is the version that you want to embody, right? Maybe instead of thinking in that way and like trying to envision yourself being the version of you 2.0, maybe you want to create an alter ego, because maybe this is how like a lot of celebrities are doing that, right? Like you can see in celebrities like let's say performers, when they step on stage, they're like this fierce untouchable version of themselves, and when they are in interviews they might be a little shy. Michael Jackson is a very good example of this. Beyonce is a very good example of this. Others are very good examples of this as well. Maybe that makes it a little bit easier for you to believe that it's possible because you're pretending for now, and give it away to an alternate version of yourself and not necessarily like the version that you want to become, because maybe that is where the blockage is for you. So you might want to name it, or name them, and then create them by writing down the way they walk and talk and create things for themselves, the way they carry themselves, or something like that. Okay, help your brain to create that version so that you can step into it and step into that version if necessary for the, you know, for the shifts that you want to create for yourself. And then what I heard was gather your strength because the shift is loading. Things will move much more, like much quicker as from June, like mid-June or latest end June, than it has at all in the first 6 months of this year. So when right now in the first 2 weeks of June it is still a little bit low, it's because you need to gather your strength. Okay, because things are about to move, things are about to get better, things are about to shift, and I'm so excited for that. Okay, let's see what the Oracle deck has to say. Okay, what is it that we need to know? What is it that the group of people that I manifested to watch this video need to know? Do you have some new messages or some reconfirming messages for us? What is it that we need to know? Thank you. One more shuffle, one more card. One more card. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, so we have Divine Masculine. It is time to take action. It is time to step into that version. It feels like this message is repeating itself in the last few weeks, because so when people ask me, why do I get the same message over and over and over again? Because you're still not listening to it, because you're still not going for it, because you still not allow yourself to believe that this is what is for you. Okay, so some of you are actually afraid to step into that version of yourself, and I get it. And maybe this is why the alter ego idea came through, because maybe that is helpful for you. Maybe that it helps you to actually do and take these steps, because we have a lot of leaders here. We have a lot of people watching right now that are leaders. The projector in human design is in general being seen as a leader. It says, lead the way. You are being called to be the guide and leader of others. Your insight and the way you see things is going to be incredibly influential and beneficial for others. Trust that you are here to use these abilities to guide others. To be able to do that, you need to take care of your energy. It is important for you to believe that. like however that looks like for you, whatever it actually is that you're being called to do. But you are being called for more than what you're doing right now. You're being called to be more, to embody more, to quote unquote do more, not necessarily work more, but like when you shift your energy and you step into who you're meant to be, you have more influence, you have more impact. That is really what it is about. And then we have fantasy. So it says you love to daydream, being in a fantasy you create in your head and heart. This is your way of visualizing whatever it is that you want to magnetize into your life. Understand that this energy is extremely potent right now and should be practiced daily. Trust that whatever it is you're fantasizing about should be your focus at the moment. Understand that your dreams, while you are visualizing them during this time, are already put into motion to come into existence. So really, really big potential for manifestation energy right now as well. So allow yourself to daydream, allow yourself to write these things down, allow yourself to believe that they are possible, because that is the only way how it's actually going to shift for you. You have to believe it first, right? Like you have to be the one that believes in you. You have to be the one that sees the vision, right? Like you have to, because this is how life will reflect it back to you, okay? And then we have progress. Progress is not linear, nor does it go up and down. It's a spiral. You revisit the same wounds on each new level to release another layer. Every new level demands more of you and therefore confronts you with the same wound in a different scenario to test you. That's why it always feels like you are taking steps back before leveling up. You are right where you need to be. Keep going. So things are shifting. You are making progress, even though it's not necessarily showing up in the way you want it yet. It's not necessarily showing up in the way you expected it to. It's not necessarily showing up in physical progress yet, but the energy is shifting. Something is happening. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have reflector. So you are not just a good guide because of your ability to see things through and help people to get to the next level. And what you could be a consultant. It doesn't have to be that you are meant to be a coach like what I am doing, or like a spiritual advisor. It might be like you are like a person that is a consultant in some sort, like that is being asked to help to rearrange a group of people at an agency because they feel like you have a good eye for that. It can be that you are good at something in your field wherever you are working, and you're meant to not just work in that field anymore, but actually be a consultant about these topics to help other people do it better, because you've outgrown doing it yourself and you are now meant to be a mentor, a coach in that area, right? So be open to see what that might be, because you are good at reflecting things back that others are not capable of seeing. You are good at having a bird's eye view and feel into what needs to shift, what needs to change for that field that you are good at in, for that field that you are working in, okay? So I want you to ponder on that if that is a thing that you have not yet figured out for yourself. If you want help, I have an actual new offer where I help people in 3 sessions to figure out their purpose. Okay, there are specific tools that I'm using to help you based on astrology, based on human design, based on Ikigai and some other tools, and then obviously my psychic abilities and my coaching abilities to help you really get to that level of understanding that this is what I'm meant to be doing, okay? And it's written in the stars. It is written in your astrology. It is written in your human design, and we can figure it out together, okay? If you're interested in doing that, reach out and we can hop on a free breakthrough call and I will tell you all about it, okay? But you are called to step it up. Okay, it's time. What are you waiting for? We need you. It is time for you to step into your purpose. It is time for you to step into the version of yourself that you're so afraid of, but you are meant to be in this lifetime. Okay? You will never, ever, like, your purpose will keep calling you if it is your purpose. Okay. And for now, if you don't know what it is, the only thing that you will know is that you're meant for more, that there is more, that there must be more, that this can't be it. If you feel that way, then this message is for you. And it's time for you to step into that version. Okay. I'm here to help you with this, with my free offerings, but also with my coaching if you feel called. Okay. I have capacity. Reach out. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Help me to grow the channel. You know what to do. And I see you next week.